Hello, hello, and welcome to the IRI AT Training Center. Not quite sure why my video is not showing. My name is Jaap Breider. I'm the CEO of IRI AT. Happy to be bringing a presentation to you today for the Motorized Drawing Arm. Let me toggle my video and see if I can get it to actually start here. Doesn't look like it wants to. Okay. Anyway, this is the final in our summer tactile graphics webinar series. We're going to be updating everything and getting started again, start of the calendar year. This is kind of our finale. Happy today to have a special guest presenter. We have Mr. Jaap Breider. He's the President of Thinkable. We'll be giving a live presentation today showing the Motorized Drawing Arm, otherwise known as the MDA, joined by his lovely wife, Marianne. Thank you for joining us. I'll just briefly go through a few things here before I turn things over to Jaap and Marianne. First, just to explain briefly what is the Motorized Drawing Arm, or the MDA. Essentially, it's a digital tactile plotter. We'll plot out drawings for you and make them tactile. And the thing that's really excellent about it is it's not just another thing that's going to plot things or emboss things that are tactile, but it's actually an interactive system. So combining it with the other tools from Thinkable, this is another way to be more inclusive and be more interactive. It's not just about delivering drawings, but allowing blind students and others to participate in the process. So we have a few learning objectives today. First of all, we want to demonstrate this is a tool that will start working for children at a very young age. You could start going pretty much immediately, but it's also powerful enough that it can continue to help a blind student get all the way through a higher education. We're going to look at the inclusiveness of this. Just anecdotally, we found that the more blind people and blind students are involved in the drawing and the creation of tactile graphics, the more that they're better able to read them when other people make them. And most of all, we're just going to find a brand new way for teaching tactile graphics that is quite a bit more effective than other ways and more inclusive. So with that, I went a slide too far. With that, I'm going to turn things over to Jaap and Marianne and have them take over and show you the new MDA from Thinkable.
Hello, this is Jaap Breider speaking.
And I'm Marianne speaking, Jaap's wife and colleague, and will help you through this webinar.
Jeff, can you confirm that you can hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so while I'm doing some talks to you, Marianne is going to prepare a map, and you can follow that on the screen. And this will be a map of Europe. I have just to come here. So the continent of Europe is what we are going to show you today as part of this presentation. And there's a joke on Americans doing Europe in 11 days. Well, today we will do that even shorter in just a matter of a few minutes. So what we do is we take the contour of Europe as the continent. We're going to add a few countries. And of course, we are going to add the Netherlands to that map as where we are. And also adding France. And what you could do is add all countries to the map, or make a decision for adjusting the map only with a few countries, so you can see where they are located relative to each other. Also, we are going to add a few cities, and that is then Amsterdam, of course. We're going to add Berlin in Germany. We haven't add the contours of the country for Germany, but we can tell the system that we want to have Berlin on the map. We know that's in Germany. So
Berlin, Amsterdam, and the Netherlands. Now you see the scale of the Netherlands related to Europe. Here was France, and the last one.
So we want to have Bordeaux in France as well. So Bordeaux is added to the map, and let's say this is the map that we need for our lesson today. At least is that what we can do for you in showing Europe in just a few minutes. So we're going to sketch the map on the MDA, and so you see it live working. So you click that button, and then we change to the camera, which is facing downwards from above on top of the MDA, and the Jpeg is sitting on top of the MDA. It's always a bit of a challenge.
Switch camera. Now you see the MDA, the Tactile is a landscape on the MDA. But I think we need to do.
Did you click on the?
Maybe confirm.
Oh yeah.
Is it Alt F4?
Nee, terug naar de share screen.
Ik doe het even zo. Maps. Is die dan helemaal weg? Of niet?
This is the well-known demonstration effect.
Sketch on MDA.
Something happening.
Yeah.
Confirm to sketch.
Yeah, he doesn't ask to confirm. Sketch on the MDA. And then, of course, normally, immediately the system starts to sketch.
So we practiced this like 4 times, so of course.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure what happened. What we can do is we do it once again. Well, you can go to we go now to this is. We will repeat that in a minute, so you can see that it will work, of course. The MDA is a tool that has a website built in, and on that website there are a few pages. And one page is the settings page, the home page, the example page, and the interactive page. What we will do is we go to the example page, on which you have a number of images, prepared drawings in certain categories. And when we were talking about getting students or children on a very early age involved in drawing, we made a number of exercises. While it is important for you as a teacher how you are able to get them to draw. There is no, when you want to have examples, you can print them, of course, in any form of tactile graphics on a braille embosser or swell paper, but then you have to sort of read them with your fingers and then go back to the drawing board and then copy. So what we did here is we created examples, your first lines, and well, we take just one of these examples of first lines. You hear a phone in the back, so we let that go.
To sketch.
So now you can go to the camera. So we switch to the camera now, and then you can see the motorized drawing doing its job. You can hear it already tuning of the motors. Sorry? So what it does, you could see that an image was shown before it was actually sketched, and this image has a number of squares, and the idea is that you start here. Well, this is a finished one. This one has the open on the lower left hand side. So the idea is that you finish it, and you have to read and find simultaneously. So you see, these are all in the same direction, and the idea is with finalizing these simple drawings, you get the feel for to draw. And what you can do to make this effective, that you start in the first day, you say, okay, do it as precise as you can. And you might use a tool like the triangle to align with the shape in this case, or you might do it just with your fingers as a reference. And after 1 month, you can come back to the same exercise and say, okay, let's do it as fast as possible. And comparing these comparing these two time records, you are sort of able to tell about the progress of learning, improving the drawing skills. So in this example template, this is just squares, but we can go back to the examples and then we can show you the different symbols or simple drawings, sorry, simple shapes we have created as the exercise. So this would be a perfect idea for you to give the TactileView to the child and to your student, and maybe you have multiple students in your classroom, so you put up another TactileView and you do the same exercise, and your students can go as they need. So this is the basic shape, the first lines. If we progress, we can change the paper. May I take a sheet? Well, we are replacing the foil. Nee, kun je blijven. Oh, okay.
So Jaap, we have a comment.
Yeah.
We're told that is pretty awesome.
Okay, that's nice to hear. Of course, this is why we invented this.
Yeah, we appreciate those comments.
Yes, sure. Well, you know, I am at a certain age, and I am very sort of involved in things for children education. I did my education at the University of Groningen, and I'm educated as a psychologist. Since then, I worked in the Braille industry all my life, so to say, and I developed Braille displays. And over the last 12 years, I've been involved in developing and designing these kind of products. So if we have, for instance, we want to have some more challenge for the child, for the younger child, we go to the category finalize the drawing. Oh, okay. I'm confusing my colleague here. Sorry to do that. So as you can see, complete the drawing, and there we have also some examples. Maybe you can bring up well, some.
I like the bicycle, very Dutch.
Oh, the bicycle.
Okay, we do the
We
bicycle.
have a special request.
So you can see this is the bicycle, and then we can sketch.
Was it now?
Up a little bit.
Yeah. So you see the bicycle.
And then we're going to draw it.
Confirm to sketch.
Confirm to sketch. Well, this is a setting, especially when you are in a multiple user situation, that the machine has to get a real go before it starts the engine, so to say. We can take away this step in between, but then it will automatically start sketching as soon as you press when you press on the drawing, image of the drawing. So this is sort of a security setting to make sure it doesn't do.
Fingers. Here's the pen.
So this is actually the bicycle. Well, I'm not sure who made this one, but here is a part of the wheel actually missing. So what I will do here is to see. As you can see, I made a little mistake here also. So that is part of the wheel. This one is here. I think, what do you think of this wheel? It's will be a little wobbly maybe, but you can see.
For cross country, it's fine.
Okay, yeah.
Definitely a little better now.
So here you can see that we have some other parts that we can add to it, and in this section we have many more examples. And when you connect your MDA to your local network, it will look for updates whenever you switch it on. So what will happen is, when we get ideas of add extra additional drawings in any of these categories, you will see that in your in your MDA, in your catalog. And so this is sort of at the beginning, and when you have seen this, come up with new ideas, and we can add those. So this is where we can just name the categories. Oh no, yeah,
Examples.
Category of examples. Yes, please.
So you see animals, building types, just two of them. Chemistry, you can pull up molecule schemes, etc. Coordinate systems are in there. Emojis, some games you can play in this way. Learn to measure. Lots of mazes are there. People, controllers.
Is it possible to add to this catalog the way that you can add to the catalog in TactileView?
No, not in this way. There is a way, a page on the website that says My Images, and there you can ask people to create designs for you, and they will appear in your private list. And we will sort of monitor that list behind the scenes, and we can sort of pick from that list. But you cannot add to this catalog, but what you can do, there is an upload page, and there you can upload your own drawings, as long as they are in SVG file format. That is standard vector graphics. So you can upload there. Once they've made with, for instance, Illustrator or Inkscape, or there are also a number of iPad and iPhone software packages that create the drawings in SVG. And you can store those and upload those, and then you can sketch from there. or you can insert a USB stick in the back of the MDA, and then you can print or sketch from there. So you have several options actually to have your own images sketched with the MDA, but you cannot add to the catalog, to this catalog directly. Okay. Well, that brings me. Oh yeah. Okay.
So I shall continue. Maybe you can't read all the categories. So sports are some of them, biology, structures, circulation or the lungs or whatever. Some cartoons, complete the drawing. You saw that, country contours, first lines. That's what we
Sorry
showed.
to break in again, but I just love the catalog that is so extensive that's in TactileView. So you could just grab something from the TactileView catalog that has loads and loads of images then and download it and print it on MDA.
That is partly true. I have to be careful about that because the TactileView catalog is yet in Jpeg file format. So it is a little bit step too fast at this point to take images from the TactileView catalog. So this is a bit different approach. This brings me to yeah, that's planned for the future updates. We have well, too many things to do actually.
It will be the case in future that you can use the catalog too.
Is it black?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things about TactileView, that you can, people every time they save, they can save to that catalog, and we can share images and not have to recreate. And so it's awesome to hear that you're going to bring that to MDA too. But we did get a question on the Q&A as we're in this section. We got a question about what games we have so far. I wonder if you could show those quickly.
So this one is the field of, if I kijk al die stippen, dots and boxes, a game for two persons. I think it's
connecting the dots, is it called?
Is it connecting the dots in the stage? So you can make figures, and you have to close as much as
area.
So it's who has the most area of the field, so to say. So you put a line turn by turn, and who has most of the land is in front, something like that. Yeah. You know that game? Children play it on the ground in the streets or on paper.
Or on paper, yeah. No, you can play it on grid paper actually. Okay, gevonden.
And the other one, even kijken, dan moet je weer terug. No, it's not interactive. Excuse me. Examples. And
so while you're going through that, we got another question about whether this is screen reader accessible, and you should occasionally be hearing JAWS in the background, and then also voiceover when we show the phone. So yes, it is screen reader accessible.
Yeah, I will show you in a minute how I operate this device with my iPhone. And for this presentation, we have switched off the screen reader, but it is fully accessible, including all the descriptions and the values of the images and the settings for your network, etc. So, well, I am blind myself. And how could I design anything that isn't accessible? So the programmers would not have any job here, I guess. So,
okay. The next game is Sea Battle. I think you know that. So you
Battleship, you think they call it?
Is it Battleship or Sea Battle?
Yeah, we call it Battleship.
Yeah.
Okay, so you place crosses, and while you have the two fields.
My buddy Mike is the one who asked this question, and I bet he's going to want to play Battleship.
Okay.
So this is also a thing that you can think about in the educational field, because you have to count the boxes where you want to play. So it's not only a game, but also you're learning how to handle tables. So here, one of the nice things is that we have two tactipads actually, with two blind guys playing a Battleship. So and they can, on the left-hand side, they can put their own ships, and on the right-hand side, they can make the hits and misses, or the misses in from the enemy. So in this way, you can keep track of your own settings and of what you have been trying to hit.
We try to look for games that are exercises too and still not working for school. So it's orientation, it's tactile exercising, it's drawing, it's working with coordinates, it's everything in it, and still it's not homework, it's a game. And that's...
We had another really good comment, is that this is something that could be shared between sighted and blind children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly, and that's fun for both.
Well, the one thing is that you have to make sure the sighted person is not overlooking your fingers. So, thank you. Okay.
So here we made tic-tac-toe. So 3 examples, but it will be grow in future. And if you have ideas, please tell us, and we will make a grid or examples of it.
So basically,
and just to point out, we typically use our tactipads with an ink pen, so they're also visible to sighted people. So that would just be just use a different pen, and it'll work even better for sighted people too, to integrate with the blind students.
Yeah. We use an ink pen too, but I think on camera you don't see the ink very well. We always work with ink pen. It is not necessary, but what you say is helpful.
Okay, I want to go into a bit more technical things. I place a little plastic panel here, and this is actually the back panel that can be found on the back of the MDA. And as you can probably tell, this is the on-off switch. And sorry, we have to switch camera.
Yeah.
So I place it on again. So this is...
Just to clarify, this is what is on the back panel where the cords and everything connect into the back of the MDA?
Yes, correct. Well, actually, there is a pretty clear picture on the Thinkable website as well, with some arrows and description, but I thought I'd give you that inside here as well. So this is the on-off switch, and when it's switched on, the surface is back in, so you can feel actually if the switch has been pressed or not. This is the power connection, and these are two holes to connect to throughputs for actually 4 USB drives. So you can insert up to 4 USB drives to the MDA containing SVGs. So that would be quite a massive, but that's the fact that there is a Raspberry Pi mini computer inside, and that has 4 USB ports actually. So, and this one,
Internet.
Sure. This one is the internet connection. The MDA can be connected. When it's switched on, it's producing a network already with a hotspot. So you don't need to do anything. You can just connect your phone or your PC to the MDA via this built-in Wi-Fi network. Otherwise, you can connect it here to your local network with a cable. Using that Wi-Fi connection, either directly to your phone or to your computer, or network makes it possible also to connect the MDA to your Wi-Fi local network. So actually you have two options to connect to your local network. One is Wi-Fi and one is internet. And that makes it very, how can I say, effective in communication, while students in the class or teachers in the class can all access the MDA. And I will show that in a minute. And this is actually the USB input. You can connect the MDA directly to your computer via USB cable if you want. So that are the options for a connection. They are a bit, maybe go a bit fast. They are described on the Thinkable Network website as well, so you can see all the connections there. And while we are in the technical area, I'm going to lift the secret actually. This is what happens inside. So this arm goes back and forth, and this is actually the tip that creates the line on the paper. So that moves from left to right and also up and down. So this is the motor that drags this motor to left and right. So that's all covered underneath this.
Notice a lot of times when Jaap is using this, he's actually touching that arm while it's going. I mean, I imagine you can put enough resistance on it that you could stop it from going, but it is made to be touched as it's going and not fault.
Correct. Yeah. Well, of course you can hold it hold it so it won't move, but then you will hear a very bad sound from your motors. So you will be frightened by that, I hope. But otherwise you can sort of keep your finger or keep your hand on it while it's having.
Do you see our landscape and portrait?
Oh yeah, good thing. Marjan was mentioning that the TactileView is now in landscape. That means that the frame opens like this. So the hinge is on the back side. But be on portrait, be on landscape could also be this way. And the same applies for portrait. It can be the hinge to the left-hand side or to the right-hand side. So what do you do when an image is created? Well, inside or actually underneath the surface of this metal plastic and metal plate, we have some sensors, and they detect the position of the TactileView. So in effect, you don't need to worry about the position of your TactileView. The software will automatically take care of how the image is created. So it will rotate automatically to the correct position on the TactileView. So let's assume we have the map of Netherlands is in this orientation. So even while I have this the TactileView oriented in landscape, the Netherlands will appear in this direction. Well, when you know what your image is going to be, you better rotate it so you don't need to sort of do some gymnastics to hold to find a drawing. But technically, it will rotate into the right direction.
So let's take it now.
We're going to change. As you can see, I try to make sure the paper doesn't wrinkle while the frame goes down. Here in the corners of the frame, on the side as well, there's a magnet that holds the frame down, but you will always have some wrinkles in the paper, and that's sort of a natural to this paper. As we were discussing about connecting and accessibility, I'm going to. So I bring my. So this is in Dutch. Let's see what happens.
It works with screen readers as long as the screen readers work.
So this is voiceover in my very old iPhone 5S actually, but I would say never break a winning team. So here is a link. I didn't put it too fast, so you probably can't follow. I'm not sure if you can see the screen of the iPhone.
Drawing Arm, MDA.
A little bit.
This is what we want, isn't it? Enjoy the motorized drawing arm. So, well.
Is that better?
That's a little better.
Yeah, but this is not the core of what I want to show you. So.
Thinkable logo. Button. Aimed. Navigating. Thinkable logo. Button. Home. USB drive. My images. Interactive. Examples. Link.
So I go to do the examples.
Examples. Link. Last image sketch. Tic-tac-toe 6 playfields for 2 players from example directory.
So I know which image was sketched last. That was the playing field for the game.
Click on image to sketch again. Cheating stick in. Select an image from one of animals. 1. Biology. Building types. Cartoons. 3. Chemistry. 1. Complete the drawing. 7. Coordinate systems. 4. Coordinates. Country contours. 7. Country contours. 7. Link. Coordinate systems. 4. Coordinate systems. 4.
Well,
link. Country contours.
Country
7.
contours.
Country contours. Country contours. Category. Cheating stick in. Belgium. Button.
Do you know anything from Belgium? No, probably not. So we select Belgium.
Skip to content. Link. Thinkable logo. Button. Image to be sketched. Cheating stick in. Confirm to sketch image. Button. Table start. MDA.
So, and as you can hear, you can go back to the camera now. So I can sort of follow through where the MDA is doing its job, but you can't tell actually. Well, you could do that, but it's a little bit dangerous to follow actually where the pen tip goes. But I think this is a very fast tour. Well, better a contour of Belgium. Well, here. About here in this area, it connects to the Netherlands. And here, so Holland is, the Netherlands are very short, and here is Germany. And let's say Brussels is about in this area, and Bruges is about here. So this is a very fast way to take a contour that is already made. Well, we have another map making system that we can show you in a minute when we go to the interactive area. So, do we have questions in the meantime?
We've been answering them as they come in.
So, okay, so what we do now is we go, so I showed you how to operate with the with an iPhone, and this can actually be done by, well, let's say child of 9, 10 years old who is a little bit, who is capable of dealing with these kind of equipment. But what you can do is put the MDA on the desk of the teacher, and the child can come up with his tactile pad and sort of pull the drawing and then go back to do his job. Yeah. So we go now to the interactive module.
Website.
So we go back to the website because we want to sort of have a direction, a route from very young to, let's say, school, career, and then more higher education.
Yeah.
So this is in the interactive page where we have, again, a number of modules. And the idea of this is that it's basically, these are all very simple drawing tools. We have, of course, the TactileView software with a lot of features, but this is to make drawings simple. Let's say we take the module basic shapes. We have, again, a number of basic 26 basic shape modules. And let's say we're going to take the one with the triangle.
Triangle equal sided.
Oh, okay, well.
Yeah.
No, I wanted to have actually 3 random triangles.
Basic shape. Coordinates random triangles.
So.
And you asked for 3?
Yeah.
Great.
So what you see here is that the drawing is created while you enter your value. Well, let's say, okay, I want 4 random triangles. So we enter 4 and let recreate this random triangle again. Or what you could do with this kind of exercises is that you have the student connect the angles, so you get a very nice image at the end, a very complex image. But also you can ask things like, which one is the largest? Which one has the longest side? How many times can you divide the sides in half? So you can, it's not only a matter of just drawing these, but think about an exercise, a certain topic that you can do for your student with these kind of elements. So as said, there are 26 elements, basic shapes. Or let's take the ellipses, for instance.
Ellipse, center, and radius.
So you can set if you want to have a specific ellipse with a certain length or certain dimension, you can set that.
Yeah, you see it's in millimeters now. So the x coordinate center is 100, the y coordinate center is 100, and the radius 1 is 75, and radius 2 is 50. Well, and then we say create image.
Just a second. Yeah. This might not seem very useful for you. So what we can do, we go to the imperial system, so you can enter this value into inches. So let's go to settings.
It's setup, password.
Setup, and the password is admin, so you know what that is. And then we go to global settings. And we go from metric to imperial system.
Change to imperial.
So, and now we should be able to go back to the
confirm.
yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't confirmation required to sketch confirmation to no confirmation.
Oh, that's okay.
We don't. That's
Yeah.
okay. So return.
So we go back to this ellipse. Basic shapes.
That was
Interactive.
No, interactive. Excuse me, interactive. The basic shapes. The ellipses. And now it's in inches. You see, dimensions are in inches. And the example before there was mentioned millimeters. So now it should be maybe a bit too large. So I change into 75. No, that's quite too much in inches. 6 inches. And the y coordinate make 5 inches. And the radius should be 4 and 3. Create image. And that's the ellipse.
And then you can press,
you can
sketch with MDA again. You know already how that works. So this is it's part of the interactive module where you have simple basic shapes, and the idea is that you apply those for your student for many occasions, and it's up to your creativity to make sure these are used to their utmost. So we go back to the overview of the interactive. Yeah.
Coordinate system. So there are arithmetics, there are charts and tables, there are different geometrical shapes, measurement systems. You can put in text, basic shapes. We had an overview, coordinate systems to adapt and create maps,
this is, I think,
diagram, and the time, clock, and calendar. Those are the categories. Yeah.
Well, let's take the time as an example.
1947.
Okay, so we have another.
So we do the clock, analog and digital, to show you what will happen. That will at this moment in Holland, it's 1947. Create image.
So you will see the clock with hands, and also the way the time is presented on your microwave. And all these examples are meant to sort of give the student an idea for things that happen in the sighted world also. And it's a game. It's something to learn, but moreover, it has to be fun. Tactile graphics and graphics in general have to be for fun. So this is the time. Let's say this is, let's say, for a grade, for what would it be, 3, 4 maybe. Well, we have tables, but also we have coordinate systems. Let's do that one, and then we move on to maps.
Coordinate system scale 1 to 1. So you can make your coordinate system and enter the values you like to have because of the stage of education you are. So at this moment it's inches, so I'm going to change. It's -3 inches on the x, and let me say +4. The y-axis is -3 +3. The grid steps can be 1, the grid indicator for the x and the y-axis, and grid indicator we can have none, or dots, or inches. Let me make dots. Create image.
So you see
immediately you get
what you get, and this is the image, and you print it. So one important thing with tactile graphics is that you make images that have as little distracting information as possible. We could have made these solid grid boxes, and that can be very useful for reading values along the axis or in a graph. But in case of just a sort of a general overview for what the tendency of the grid, of the formula, of the graph should be, just an empty grid or a grid with just crosses would be very nice. So this is
coordinate systems.
Coordinate system. Of course, we can create tables in all sorts, all sizes. So that is something you can imagine. We go to maps to see if we can get still your tour of Europe. Maps is also an interactive module from the interactive page, and actually this page takes you to an online website. So actually now you are contacting to www.tactile.com, which is also a website that belongs to the Thinkable services. Okay. It looks like we get Europe already.
No, it's Europe covering Belgium, I think. I think now with the memory. Yeah. Okay.
So we will do that. So you go to
continents.
Yeah, continents.
That's what I did before. So we choose Europe. That's what we did before. Say adjust map, and then you can choose all the countries that are in Europe. So, for instance, that was the Netherlands, and we choose France and say add. So there France comes in, and we like to add some cities. So in the Netherlands. Dat grote vierkant. Remove that. So here should be forward from Amsterdam. And in France, you always have to choose first the country before you choose the city. We have made the choice of Bordeaux. And there it is. So that's what we did before, and that's what he's printing now.
He kept memory. He probably had this in memory, so it's printing now. Actually, on top of Belgium. So that's why we should have this setting confirmed to Sketch. So we knew, or we could have changed the paper before we actually had this printed.
And I've made a line between Amsterdam and Bordeaux just to show you possibilities, and you can add circles around cities or crosses on cities, but talking on a continent, well, that's not a good skill to do that. You want me to show?
I want to see Bordeaux. Oh, here.
Advanced, second, there we go.
Ja, dit is de lijn, hè?
Kanteld.
Gekanteld.
Because of the two, it's Belgium and Europe on top. You were a bit surprised, but you see there's England, Europe, but
yeah.
I think the image is not very clear on your end, but
So,
well, you saw the time for all Europe, so it was Europe in 2 minutes, I guess.
Well, actually, you got 2 tours for 1 prize. How about that?
That's 54 is misschien.
So Let me see, Jeff, are there questions or things people would like to know at this point? Hello, Jeff.
Are you still there?
Sorry, I was I was pressing my temporary unmute button, but I was in the chat field, so I was just adding spaces instead. No, we've been keeping up with all the questions. Have some requests for personal demonstrations, so we'll reach out to some people and set those up and do a personal Zoom session for them.
Okay.
Do you think, because we have a few minutes left,
Are there special requests or interest? We can show a lot of things. But
oh, well, we didn't
time is
show
almost over.
TactileView actually, but you can create a drawing in TactileView and have that printed on the MDA as well.
Well, and that was something I was getting to earlier. So as I understand it, you can download those images from the TactileView catalog and then print to the MDA from TactileView. Would that be correct?
No, you can't do it with the catalog images because they are Jpeg, but you could do import an SVG file in TactileView, and you can use all the actual drawing tools like the circles, square tool, and the graphing tool. So you have the maps you can do. You can insert, you can do graphs from the grid module. You can use all the drawing tools, but you cannot import at this point images from the catalog.
Not yet.
Not yet.
But we'll work on that, right? Because I promised people we would. We did get another question. Someone is asking, actually our friend Jack in Texas is asking, can this be used with the Apple Pencil to do interactive drawing?
No, there is no way of getting the position from the Apple Pencil into the MDA. What we can do, can you see this little bridge here?
Yep.
That one can hold the TactileView digital pen sensor actually. So that hooks up here. And then the arm can still go over, and then you can use the TactileView digital pen to draw on the TactiPad. But and then collect the information in TactileView. That is what you can do, but I think that's a bit tricky for all to do that. So technically yes, but for a concept, I'm not sure if you want to draw as a blind person, you want to draw on the TactiPad and put the same information in TactileView for later use. One thing I would like to work on in the future is improving even the blind, what I call blind access component of the software. So it's easier to just use the software for the menu-driven system in the software rather than a digital pen. But technically, yes. But not with the Apple Pen, but with the because as well for the Apple Pencil, you need to put it on your iPhone or on your iPad. So there has to be a combination of both.
Okay. Yeah, I liked, we were discussing this and I think the last webinar, and I like the idea of a student being able to be free to draw whatever they want on the TactiPad and then just take a scan of it to get it into the computer even. It's a real simple, easy way.
Well, you could make a picture with your camera and then you have a Jpeg file, and that you can print, of course, again on Braille. Or you can factorize it even. There is an item on the Thinkable website that is a student age of 12, and he came up to us during one of the exhibitions 2 years ago in Birmingham, and he wanted to give me a task, and I returned that and said, well, do it yourself. So what he did actually was he had a JPEG from a school logo. He converted that to JPEG and then uploaded it to SVG, and then he printed with the MDA, all at the exhibition. What was his name?
Yeah, in England.
Yeah, what was it? I'm trying to. Theo, yes, Theo. That is on the description on our website.
So we got another, is not a question, but just a comment that the map is very cool. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Nice to hear.
Well, we are very interested in hearing about your ideas, and maybe I might do, you allow me to do a call here. We want to proceed with UEB Math. We are interested in finding people who can help us to understand and how to use UEB Math. So if there is anybody who is not knowledgeable about this item, well, come up with ideas and contact us at info@thinkable.nl.
Okay, yeah, I know there are a few knowledgeable people on this webinar, so I'll be reaching out to at least a couple of them. I got another question for Jack. Could you take a screenshot of what you've drawn on the Apple device and then import it into TactileView and transfer to the MDA?
No, because when you do a screenshot on the Apple device, you will have a JPEG file format. So that is not in SVG. So what you have to do is convert that screenshot into a JPEG, convert JPEG to SVG, and then you can upload it to the MDA. So
Can you do that with the filter tool in TactileView then? No, there is no filter tool for SVG, not yet at least. But there are several websites who have that service. So that is there are many website servers who do that for you. So you upload your screen to one of these services, and in return, and as a return, you get the SVG file, and you can upload that to the upload folder in the MDA. Great. It looks like that's all the questions that we have right now.
Okay. Well, thank you for your attention, and I hope you enjoyed it.
I'll switch back to the PowerPoint. Hopefully it'll come up here. So I wanted to list a few resources, and we can send this PowerPoint to you. Just reach out to us, and I'll give you some contact information here in just a minute. But we do have the webpage for MDA if you wanted to look more into details, see some more pictures of it, check out pricing, all that stuff. We also have a resource page where we put tutorials and all kinds of other information, drivers and stuff that might be needed. We also have a link to our webinar schedule and to our YouTube channel. All of these, by the way, are recorded, and we'll have it up on YouTube probably tomorrow, as well as linked on our website in the webinars section. So I want to see if anybody has any additional questions. And thank you for your time and attention. We do have some upcoming webinars. We are basically going through the end of the year, and then we'll start up with our new tactile graphics ones with updated content starting probably mid-January. But we do have one coming up in a couple weeks, October 14th for the iRead Braille Buddy, the only personal Braille embosser. October 28th, we're giving one on some new and affordable video magnifiers from SiteCare. November 5th, we're looking at Supernova and its remote tools, remoting into computers and remoting into instructors' computers. November 19th, I'm getting together with my brother. The Braille brothers are going to get together and do a thing on ink and Braille, using ink and Braille machines and using some workarounds for people that are on a budget. And then we're going to do a quick session on affordable desktop magnifiers December 3rd. My contact information is below. You can email me, either you can email sales@iriat.com, which will get to everybody here, and that's sales, S-A-L-E-S, at irie-at.com, or you can reach out to me directly at Jeff, Jeff.Gardner, Gardner, at irie-at.com. And you can also reach me by phone at 1-888-308-0059. I'm extension 103. So I want to thank you again for joining us today, and thanks to Jaap and Marianne for their awesome demonstration. It's always fun to work with you guys, and wish everybody a great day.
Thank you. With pleasure.
All right.
Bye.
Everybody take care.